Just as with audience, too often people launch straight into writing before thinking about their purpose or their goals. And just as with audience, having more than one purpose can be destructive. I mean, think about it this way. You receive a business email and it asks you to do one thing, perhaps check over a contract. But then it goes on and it asks you to chase up an outstanding invoice. Maybe it goes on to ask you to confirm your availability for a meeting. When you get to the end of that email, how do you feel? Probably confused. As a result, what do you do? Probably nothing. I mean, the writer, as a result, has not achieved what they wanted. Now, I know that sounds exaggerated, but we're all guilty of starting an email to someone with one purpose in mind, and then because we're already writing to them, add some other stuff we wanted to ask them about or wanted them to do. Look, this is a no-no. One purpose per communication is the general rule. The only exception is when you have two purposes very close together, such as an invitation to an event and a request for any dietary requirements. Clarifying your purpose from the outset is critical to the success of a business communication. It saves time and it ensures a greater chance of success. First, it keeps you on track when researching. Obviously, this is not an issue when you have all the information you need in your head or on hand, but often you need to gather the information from other sources, whether it be online, in paper form, or by talking to others. If you haven't clarified your purpose, you can waste so much time gathering information you don't need. And you might even end up without the information that you do eventually require. Clarifying your purpose also helps you select the most relevant content once you have gathered everything you need. All communications have restrictions around word or time limits, and that means that you need to prioritize your information. If you know what your purpose is, you can easily select the information that best meets that purpose and is most likely to result in you meeting your goals. The best way to keep on track while you are drafting a piece of business writing is to create a purpose statement. A purpose statement is a short sentence that directly addresses what you are hoping to achieve. A great way to start this sentence is with the words, "I want my reader to..." whatever. You then complete the sentence with an action-based purpose, but it has to directly address what you want to achieve. Let me give you some examples. Let's say you see an advertisement for a job you want. So you settle down to write a job application. What's your purpose? Most people would say it's to get the job, or to put the statement in its right form, "I want my reader to give me the job." But in reality, no one gets offered a job straight from the initial application. What your purpose statement should read is, "I want my reader to give me an interview." Why is this different? Well, if your purpose is to get an interview, you need to prioritize your content to stand above most other applicants. So you go through your experiences and qualifications and skill sets and choose those that will make the reader sit up and take notice, that will make them want to know more. It's at the interview that you change tack and aim to impress them enough to get the job. And that may require providing very different information altogether. Now, here's an example of a common, inadequate purpose statement. "I want my reader to understand the contract I have sent them." Words like understand, comprehend, and appreciate have no place in a purpose statement because that is rarely the purpose. I mean, when you send someone a contract, you usually want them to sign it. Sure, it's great if they understand it, but the understanding is not the critical factor. If they understand it but don't sign and return it, you've not fulfilled your purpose. If they sign and return it but do not understand it, you have achieved your real purpose. The lack of understanding is their problem. So when you craft your purpose statement, think long and hard about what you really want. Here are some examples of good purpose statements. I want my reader to approve my budget, comment on my proposal, RSVP to my invitation, provide their report for the next board meeting, follow the new procedures for handling invoices, fund my proposal. Note how to the point they are. Now, once you have created your purpose statement, keep it in mind, or better still, physically in front of you while you draft your communication. While you write, continually ask yourself, is this related to my purpose? Whenever the answer is no, don't include whatever it was you were going to write. The purpose statement also helps you to prioritize your information, because when you know what you want, you can determine how best to get the reader to respond. Do this properly, and what you should end up with is a concise communication that directly addresses your purpose and therefore maximises the chances of getting what you want. And who doesn't want that? Let's finish this section with an exercise. Look at a business email or other correspondence that you have written to someone lately. Now write down the purpose statement for that piece. I want my reader to what? Now go through the piece and see if you have addressed that purpose as best you can. In other words, that you have given yourself the best opportunity to get the reader to do what you wanted. And consider what you would change if you got to do it again now.